After his mother died, the world felt quiet, like everything stopped breathing for a moment. John stood by her hospital bed holding her hand like he could keep her here if he held tight enough. But nothing changed. No machine beep, no word came back. When someone you love goes, everything slowed down. It was like walking inside cold rain, heavy, lonely, sharp. And please, if you are watching this story right now, make sure you like this video and subscribe, because more deep life lessons like this will come, and I don't want you to miss any. John left that hospital with empty hands, but inside his chest there was a hole you could feel from far. His mother was his peace, his strength, his soft landing, and losing her cut pieces out of him. When he got home, his wife Lisa hugged him, wiped his tears, held his face like love was enough to stop pain. His best friend Mike was there too, comforting him, sitting close, talking gently, telling him everything would be okay. In that moment John believed them, because when life breaks you, you hold anybody who stands beside you. Days passed like rain falling on closed windows. John tried to smile, but his eyes were always heavy. Lisa cooked his favorite meals, sat next to him at night, rubbed his back like she cared deeply, and maybe she did, maybe she didn't, but love sometimes looks real even when it's changing slowly underneath. Mike visited almost every evening, bringing food, drinks, stories, distraction, and the three of them sat together like one family. To John it was support, to Lisa maybe comfort, to Mike maybe opportunity. Nobody knew yet. Remember, like this video if you're still following the story, and please subscribe so you don't miss more interesting gist. Weeks turned into months, and John started noticing little things, quiet phone calls, whispers in corners, messages deleted quickly when he walked into the room. Lisa was always smiling at her phone, always stepping outside to talk. Mike would show up even when John wasn't home, saying he came to check on her, but John loved them both too much to suspect anything. He was still healing, still broken, still believing love and loyalty never shake. But life is funny sometimes. The pain you fear the most is already walking toward you quietly. One evening, Lisa sat John down at the dining table. She looked calm, too calm for such a stormy moment. She folded her hands, breathed deeply, and said she wanted a divorce. No fight, no argument, no anger, just words soft like butter but sharp like a knife. It cut him in one strike. His heart started shaking inside his chest like it was falling. He asked why, what changed, what he did wrong, what happened to their love. But her answer came like a door closing. She said she doesn't feel the marriage anymore. She said her happiness was somewhere else. And that happiness, just a week later, was revealed clearly. She married Mike. The shock could break a mountain. His wife gone, his best friend gone, two closest people gone, and nobody cared how he felt. He sat on the floor of the house he used to call home, staring at walls, remembering laughter that used to live there. The nights were long, the silence was loud, the heartbreak was like fire inside his chest. If you ever lost people you trusted, you know that feeling. Your stomach get weak, your mind fights itself, you want to scream but no sound comes out. And friends, if you are getting emotional or you are still enjoying the gist so far, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. While John was trying to hold himself together, something unusual happened. A lawyer reached out to him. A long envelope arrived with his name printed on it. His hands trembled, opening it because life already hurt him enough. He didn't expect anything good anymore. But inside that envelope was news big enough to change his world forever. His mother, the same mother he cried for, the same woman he loved with all his soul, left him a hidden inheritance, something she never spoke about while alive. $300 million. Not 300,000, 300 million. When he saw the amount written clearly, he sat back like chair pushed itself. His heartbeat changed rhythm, fast and slow, at the same time. A man that lost everything suddenly became one of the richest men in the city. Life is strange, it breaks you, then it surprises you. Grief took his mother, betrayal took his wife, disloyalty took his best friend. But destiny brought treasure back to him in a way nobody expected. When Lisa and Mike heard about the inheritance, their eyes changed like night turning into bright sunlight. They started texting, calling, asking if they could talk. They said they missed him. They said they regretted how things ended. But John was not the same broken man anymore. Money didn't fix his pain, but it gave him clarity, strength, dignity. He answered them with silence. Sometimes silence is louder than shouting. He bought a new house by the lake, large windows, fresh air, quiet nights. He sat outside, sometimes staring at water reflecting moonlight, thinking of his mother. He remembered her smile, her patience, her kindness. She didn't just leave money, she left power, freedom, a chance to live again without people who broke him. And while building his new life, he realized something powerful. Wealth is not only money. Wealth is peace, loyalty, true love, good heart, self-respect. Life taught him that sometimes you lose everything, so you can win something bigger later. And as you're listening to this right now, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss more real-life gist like this. I tell stories to teach, to inspire, to open minds, and I want you to grow with me. Now, this gist is long and deep, and I still have plenty to continue. How he rebuilt himself, how Lisa and Mike tried to come back into his life, how he handled forgiveness, how success changed his future, how love found him again, how destiny completed the circle. John sat every evening by his new lake house, thinking about the past like a movie you don't want to watch again, but your mind keeps playing it. His mother gone, his marriage broken, his friend betrayed him, yet here he was, breathing new air, looking at a future that now looked wide, bright and open like a fresh road after long rain. Sometimes healing doesn't come fast, sometimes it comes slowly, like sunrise rising minute by minute. And please, if you are still enjoying this gist, remember to like this video and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and helps me tell you more stories that teach and calm the heart. Lisa and Mike kept trying to reach him, calls at night, messages every morning, even emails with long apologies. They wanted a second chance, but you cannot rebuild a house with broken bricks. One day Lisa showed up at his gate crying, saying she missed him, saying she made a mistake choosing Mike. She said she didn't know he had money. She said she thought happiness was somewhere else. Her tears were heavy, but her heart, John couldn't feel it anymore. Pain had closed that door, and healing had locked it gently. Mike came to, stood there looking guilty, like a boy caught stealing bread. He said he felt ashamed, said he shouldn't have taken what was not his, said he wished they could be brothers again. John looked at him calmly. No anger, just peace. Sometimes real strength is quiet. Sometimes winning isn't shouting, it's choosing silence. He forgave them in his heart, but forgiveness isn't the same as returning. They walked away knowing they lost something they can never get again, not the money, not the wealth, but John's trust. With time, John started meeting new people, joining new places, traveling to new cities. Money opened doors, but his new wisdom opened even more. He went to charity events, donated to hospitals, sponsored school programs in his mother's name, because he wanted her love to continue touching lives. When you have a pure heart, blessings flow like water, and that's what happened to him. Wherever he gave, more came back. People respected him not just because of his money, but because he walked with kindness and quiet strength. One afternoon, while attending a community fundraiser, he met someone new. Her name was Anna. She wasn't loud, she wasn't flashy, she didn't know about his wealth at first. She was just simple, warm, real, the kind of person whose smile felt like morning light. They talked for hours like old friends who never met before. She asked about his dreams, not his money. She listened to his silence, not only his words, and slowly, something inside him healed, not because she fixed him, but because love felt safe again. If you are still here listening, please like this video and subscribe, because this gist is getting sweeter now. Anna didn't rush him. She didn't ask for anything. She cooked with him, walked with him, laughed with him, shared music, shared peace. For the first time in a long while, John felt like he could breathe without pain. He started telling her about his past, the loss, the betrayal, the inheritance, and she held his hands with soft eyes that didn't judge or envy. She told him something he never forgot. Money is big, yes, but life is bigger. What matters most is who sits with you when you have nothing, not who comes when you have everything. Those words stayed in his heart like a warm blanket in cold weather. Years passed like calm water flowing. John and Anna became stronger together, not perfect, but real. They built a family, built a foundation for children with love, respect, and values. His mother's name was placed on schools, on medical charity programs, on homes for struggling families. Her love continued breathing in the world. And every evening he sat by the lake, watching sunset with Anna in his arms, the same lake he once stared at alone. Life came full circle, pain to peace, heartbreak to healing, betrayal to rebirth. Lisa and Mike? Their marriage didn't survive long. Greed is not a strong foundation, it breaks easily. They heard about John's happiness sometimes, and they remembered what they threw away. Regret became their shadow. But John didn't hate them. No need. God, destiny, life, whatever name you call it, handled everything. The lesson stands for everybody listening right now. Sometimes the people you love will hurt you. Sometimes life will take what you think you cannot live without. But if you hold your heart clean, if you stay patient, if you walk forward even when it hurts, one day you will look back and smile, because everything you lost might just be a road leading you to something greater. And if this story has touched you, if it made you think, if it made you feel something, please like this video, subscribe, and stay with me for more real-life gist. Your support keeps this voice speaking and these lessons flowing. I can continue even deeper into how their kids grew up, how he used his wealth to change communities, how forgiveness gave him peace, how he met his father again later in life, how Lisa tried returning one last time, how destiny finished the story. Life moved gently like wind brushing through tall grass, and every new day felt like sunlight entering a room that was once dark. John's life became richer not only in money, but in peace, stability, joy. Things he once thought he could never feel again returned slowly, quietly, like trust knocking softly on a closed door. Anna helped him heal one piece at a time. She didn't rush his heart, she didn't push his wounds, she just stayed, steady like a heartbeat, sure like morning. They spent slow days together walking barefoot on soft grass, talking around the fireplace, laughing in the kitchen at midnight while cooking simple meals like they were luxury dinners. Happiness didn't need noise. It lived in small things, the way she held his arm, the way he looked at her like he found home after long years wandering. If you're still enjoying this, please like this video and subscribe. Your support helps this channel grow, and it gives me power to bring more gist like this for you every day. Soon, they welcomed their first child, a baby girl with her grandmother's eyes. They named her Grace, not because life was easy, but because everything good that returned to John felt like grace given freely, undeserved but beautiful. The day Grace was born, John cried tears that didn't burn. They were soft tears, tears of healing. He held her tiny fingers and whispered to her like she could understand every word, "You're the second chance I never expected." Watching him hold his daughter, Anna smiled, and the house filled with a kind of happiness that felt like music even in silence. But life is never a straight line, even joy has tests. When Grace turned 7, she began asking questions, innocent questions only children ask. One day, she sat next to her dad on the lakeside bench and said, "Daddy, did you ever have another family before us?" That moment held weight. Not heavy like pain, but heavy like truth waiting to be told. John breathed slowly, his thoughts returning to old memories like dust rising in sunlight. He decided not to hide anything. He told Grace everything, gently, about his mother, about heartbreak, about betrayal, about how life broke and rebuilt him. Anna sat listening too, holding his hand with silent support, and Grace, young as she was, simply leaned on him and said, "I'm happy you didn't give up. If you did, I would not be here." Simple words, but they healed parts of him no doctor ever could. And if you are still listening to this gist, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Stories like this help many people heal, reflect, and find strength through life challenges. Years rolled forward like wheels on open highway. John became known not for money alone, but for kindness. He built schools in poor towns, sponsored young minds with dreams bigger than their pockets, built elderly homes, hospitals, business grants, all in his mother's name. Everywhere you went, you could see a sign, funded by the Grace Foundation in memory of Margaret. He didn't just spend money, he planted it like seeds, and every seed grew into light. People respected him deeply. He became a symbol of hope, a reminder that broken people can still build strong futures. Journalists interviewed him, people wrote books about his life, motivational speakers quoted his story. But through it all, he remained humble. He still walked by the lake every morning, still cooked dinner with Anna, still read bedtime stories to Grace, and later to her younger brother, Daniel. Yes, they had another child, a boy full of laughter and bright eyes. Grace and Daniel grew with values stronger than gold. They watched how their father forgave life instead of hating it. They learned that money is a tool, not a master. They saw him greet workers with respect, give freely without cameras recording, speak softly even when he had power. And they learned something powerful, that real success is not shown in what you have, but in who you are when everything is gone. Then came a day nobody expected. A letter showed up at John's gate again, but this time, it was not from a lawyer. It was from Lisa, the woman who walked away, the woman who chose his friend, the woman who cried at his gate years ago. Her life had changed, not for good. Her marriage with Mike collapsed under the weight of distrust, arguments, regret. They separated bitterly. She watched from far how John's life turned golden, while hers turned gray. And now, she wrote a letter not to get money back, but to ask for forgiveness, real forgiveness, so she could breathe without guilt. She wrote, "I don't want wealth. I don't want you back. I just want peace. I want to stop carrying this pain." John sat quietly reading her words. Old memories flowed back, the pain, the loneliness, the broken nights. But instead of anger, he felt something else, understanding. Time had softened his heart like rain softens soil. He agreed to meet her in a quiet cafe. When she walked in, she wasn't the woman he once knew, not beautiful like before, not shining with confidence. She looked tired, like she had been fighting life without winning. She sat down, hands shaking, voice thin. She apologized, not to return, not to gain, but to let go. And John looked at her with calm eyes and said, "I forgave you long ago. I just needed to heal first." In that moment, something heavy left the room. Not love, that chapter closed long ago, but peace arrived between them, and both walked away lighter. If you're still here this just long and beautiful, please like this video and subscribe. Let your support give me energy to continue bringing deep lessons and rich storytelling to you more and more. Now I can continue further how John later found his lost father after decades, how Grace built a company in honor of her grandmother, how Daniel became a doctor and returned to serve the same hospital where his grandma last breathed, how John aged with happiness instead of regret, how he passed his wisdom to grandchildren, how the story of betrayal turned into a legacy stronger than steel.